End of April, another week in this extended lockdown period. Perhaps it will be extended, or perhaps they will implement what they're calling phased, targeted lifting of ECQ, Enhanced Community Quarantine, otherwise known as GHA, Government House Arrest. And that's not a slight or a comment against the policies of this country. It's a generalized statement that has to do with multiple governmental policies around the world. I'm out today doing a little banking, doing a little shopping, essentials of course, my mask and my spray like a good little citizen. It's lockdown. I mean, what else am I going to say? So I just saw the sign. It is now mandatory to wear your face mask in public here in Taguig due to some ordinance. So what does that mean? It means you can wear bandanas, which is interesting because it would be great if you could walk around and look like you were about to rob places. And nice to know some businesses are back in swing, open to the public, but for takeout only. It is the end of April here and the sun is so incredibly hot. It's remarkably warm. Although there is still a really nice breeze here in Taguig, so that's a blessing. You're allowed to be out shopping for essentials, doing your banking, that type of thing. You still got to pay bills around here. There was a post just recently that said there will be immediate arrests for any violators of the ECQ. No warnings, no nothing. You're just going to get thrown in a giant holding tank, which is actually sort of against the rules, regulations, mandates, guidelines for ECQ. There were only like two conditions under which you could be arrested. One was resisting an officer or bribing a marshal or something like that. Anyway, other penalties were like you'd get your car impounded, but they wouldn't arrest you. So now the news is immediate arrest. Yikes. Today we decided to head down to Forbes Town Center here at P. Burgos Circle. It's a part of BGC because we are on a quest to find 7-Elevens. Now 7-Elevens usually stock a certain item that we're trying to buy, and the ones that are pretty much near us are all out of stock. So one of the weird things about this lockdown, which I really want to stop calling it lockdown because it's essentially a government enforced house arrest. I'm certainly not in a quarantine ward. I'm not sick. I'm not being quarantined. Anyway, all that aside, we're looking for 7-Elevens today, and just over here in P. Burgos we're finding that almost every restaurant, even like the Coffee Bean Tea Leaf, are open, except they're open for takeout only. So it's interesting that this little community of restaurants, mostly restaurants and shops, is sort of maintaining an operating model despite lockdown. One meter, huh? Let's see how long it takes for that to become 2 and 3 meters. "35 days in, 10 days left." We finally got the notification for quarantine passes, more control elements being enforced. Why would they wait 35 days into a 45-day period to roll out quarantine passes unless they were going to extend the quarantine? I guess that's conjecture number one. Rumor number one is, well, I don't know if it's really a rumor because it was on a website. The president has declared that the lockdown will continue if they're unable to buy medicine for the pandemic as of May. Now, here's the thing. There really is no medicine. So, is that really even a valid statement? Does that even make sense? There's a lot that doesn't make sense. With 1 week left in the April 30th end of lockdown period, they have announced yet another extension here in the Philippines. This lockdown, government house arrest, will continue until May 15th. And you know, I was doing some research last night and I came across an alarming or just startling or just unbelievable, almost ridiculous news clip broadcast, actually a excerpt from a spokesperson from the CDC explaining how they count COVID fatalities. And it was actually not really news, but surprising to hear that they admitted it so blatantly, as if it was a normal thing to just be so duplicitous. And I'm curious to know if they're doing that here in the Philippines. What do you think?
Technically, even if you died of a clear alternate cause, but you had COVID at the same time, it's still listed as a COVID death. So everyone who's listed as a COVID death doesn't mean that that was the cause of the death, but they had COVID at the time of death. I hope that's helpful.
Can I have a follow-up question?
You know you're getting desperate in lockdown and this starts to become a viable option in your brain. If I want to make her laugh, I just have to say weird Tagalog words.
Nabubula.
Nabubula?
No,
Bumubala. Interesting, I kind of thought they were the same word, bumubala. Bumubala ako sa loob sa labas, you know, like pakiramdam ko, like I'm feeling bubbly, right? Inside and out. Or Nabubalak, is that the other one?
Yeah,
Nabubalak is apparently recyclable or biodegradable. Who would have ever thought? Nabubalak?
Is it?
Bumubala.
It's not a bubbly.
Alright, despite the extension to lockdown, we're still thankful for the opportunity to be able to get outside and shop and buy stuff and take long walks in the sun. It's really just uncool and unhealthy to be caged up inside 20 plus hours a day. So again, just trying to get that sun, trying to get that exercise whenever we can. The other thing that was cool was long, super hot walk today and just sweating bullets by the time we got up to the Metro Market. And you know, they get the temperature gun pointed at your head to see if you're running a temperature, if you're showing symptoms. And I thought, man, it's been so hot and I'm so sweaty, like I wouldn't be surprised if our temperature was all jacked. But no problems. Although those temperature guns are inconsistent as hell. They're probably all made in China, and the one in the condo where I live constantly shows me as low. I walk in, I'm low. And they're always like, what? And I'm just like, it's made in China, what do you expect? And they're like, okay. And they just let me in. It's like, there's one down the street. Every time she tests it, always high for her. Never a problem for me. And then we go up the street to Uptown, no problem with the temperature guns. It's just unbelievable.
And every time we enter a condo, your temperature is low.
Yeah. As you can see, we're out shopping today for essentials, right? Unbelievable. So you've seen what life is like here in BGC under government house arrest, otherwise known as ECQ, Enhanced Community Quarantine. Do you live in the Philippines? Do you want to show the world what it's like in your area? If so, send me some videos and I will post them on this channel and hit you up with any of your social media hashtags or whatever it is you're into, or name your channel or your website or whatever. But I would love to be able to show what it's like for most Filipinos living here under this government house arrest, because I guarantee you it is a lot harsher, it's a lot more challenging and difficult than it is here in BGC.